here is the reaction he got from fans when he made his appearance to them less than an hour after I spoke to him. Well, personally, I didn't have quite that same reaction when I met him at London's Dorchester Hotel. In fact, it was all very civilised. We sat down and had a chat over a nice cup of tea.
You are not really the leading man in this one. Does it feel like there's less pressure on you to sort of carry the film?
Absolutely. That's why I had a much better time on... Well, not better, but I had a great time on this one because... a lot of the pressure was taken off, and especially because it got so hyped after the first one was released. I didn't have to drive the film at all, so it's great.
In this one, you do take your top off. That's one of the big topics that's been on some of the fan sites, the Twilight fan sites, actually, that I looked at. But you said that taking your top off is something that you never actually wanted to do after the last one.
I know I've only got one. Oh, actually, no. I guess I have got more. Well, I've got technically more than one scene, but I did limit my my topless scenes quite a lot. Like I was supposed to do the entire fight sequence at the end half naked, and I thought that would be a bit ridiculous. So, and also it would reveal you can't tense when you're doing a fight scene as well. So it was a little bit more difficult.
Of course, Taylor is in this one as well. There was a gasp in the cinema when he showed off his pumped-up torso for the first time.
I mean, the only thing I can say is do not take steroids, kids.
Just away from the movie for a second, in real life you play the guitar. We've actually heard some of your stuff on the first soundtrack. Who first inspired you to pick up a guitar?
Van Morrison, definitely. And has since been... I mean, I learned how to play... I went to classical guitar lessons when I was a kid, and then I found Van Morrison when I was about 15. And then after that, I kind of got... I listened to a lot of blues from him, and started listening to Son House, who doesn't really even play the guitar, kind of just hits it. And then a lot of John Lee Hooker and other people like that.
We've actually heard Kristen say before that one of her big influences is Van Morrison as well. Maybe that's through hanging out with you, but do you guys have a jam on set?
She's always really self-conscious about playing. She's actually a really good guitarist. Like she played Joan Jett, and she's playing all the time in that. And she's actually a really good guitarist. But she always denies it, especially in interviews all the time. She's a good singer as well. But I didn't really ever jam with her that often.
We've just heard from some people down at the cast party, the party there tonight, that there are a billion girls waiting outside screaming. Do you ever get used to that? Can you get used to that, do you think?
I think you do, in that when you're doing work stuff, you have a whole different persona. I mean, when you're just like hanging out with your friends, and then you have to kind of deal with that. Mainly because my friends react so strangely to it, because hardly any of them have really seen it firsthand, and they get very upset by it, and it's kind of overwhelms them. So then it's kind of that's when it becomes difficult. But when it's all part of the job, it's you disassociate yourself.
A very nice man indeed there, Robert Pattinson. It's basically impossible not to like that man. After I